Hello, this is Malorian, and this will be 2,500 points of my Orcs up against some Lizardmen. So this is against a friend of mine that you would have seen me play against several times. However, he's now changing his army. So he's the guy that always had the Warriors of Chaos with that crazy Disc Lord, the one that's made from that vortex going up to the throne and all that stuff. But he decided that he wanted to sell that army, start something new. So now he's doing Lizardmen. So the list he's starting with here is he has 3 units of Skinks, he has his Hordosaurus, usual Temple Guard that have the Flaming Banner, and then Lifeslan that has I'm not sure if he has Scroll or the other guy, but he has Becalming, Rumination, and then knowing the entire lore. He also has 2 Ancient Stegodons and an Engine of the Gods, and the Skink Priest has some sort of ward save as well. So, a very compact army. Those Stegodons, obviously, I think he might have some troubles when he sees some cannons, but, you know, if you can get tag teaming them on a block, they can do really well. Just grabbing an army from one of my previous tournaments, just because it's easier and I'm lazy like that. I have my Horde of Trolls, my Black Orcs with Flaming Banner. I have my 10 River Trolls, my Savage Orc Biggins. In there I have my BSB that has a +1 Leadership Banner, even though right now my level 4 is in the Black Orcs, to make sure Animosity doesn't do anything to me. And then I have my 40 Night Goblins and my Wolf Riders there with shields. So really what I'm looking at this game here, which turned out to be Battle for the Pass, I got a little bit squished, but that's okay. I don't want him forcing anything with my Savages anyway with his Skinks, so I'm just going to push up there. If my Trolls have to fight his Stegodons, so be it. I mean, they won't have their Thunderstomp, and my regen will be a pain for him. So I'm pretty sure that I could deal with that one. I just got to make sure I don't fight them all at the same time. And then I just need to get a unit to his Temple Guard and rip them up. So, you know, be it the Foot of Gork really smashing them up, or then eventually getting a unit to them. You know, once he goes down, that's going to be it. So block out the flanks and then just concentrate on that center unit. So I get first turn, no stupidity or animosity issues, and I'm just moving up. I go for a Foot of Gork, and he scrolls it. His turn then, really, I think the Stegodons maybe even moved back. Oh no, they mainly held their spot. It was just the Temple Guard that moved up to make sure he was within range for Becalming on my level 4, and so he could always Dweller the unit as well. I scrolled Dwellers. He got a few buffs out. I don't really care at this point. But then he did fairly well with his poison shots and killed a troll and did 2 wounds to another one. My turn 2, my main objective here was to clear out the Skinks. So the trolls charge the left Skinks. They flee. I redirect to the center Skinks. He decides to hold, actually, so of course I get there and crush them. And then the river trolls charge the Skinks on the far right, and they flee and get away. Otherwise, let's bring over my Wolf Riders, so they'll be ready to run over and block all the Stegodons and move over the rest of the units as best I can. You can see my characters are now back and safe in the bunker, and he was able to dispel Foot of Gork and Hand of Gork this turn. But really, I mean, all I want to do now is just pretty much just block his stuff and get in there, which at least seems now my River Trolls, or my horde of regular trolls is in the perfect position. Oh, but look at this. He got off Dwellers, and he killed half the unit like you would be expected, and then he also, I mean, remember, both these guys here are strength 4, so, yeah, I just failed my test, and they're dead. So I now don't have my General, I don't have my BSB, and I don't have any magic. And pretty much that's the game, but I'll just quickly run through it just for the fun of it. So his turn 2, for the rest of it, most of it is just his stuff rallying. He actually tried to charge all his stags and his Temple Guard into the trolls. He thought it was a charge or get charged situation, but he just failed all the charges anyway, and yeah, shoots up some more things, and of course the whole Dwellers issue. My turn 3, Trolls fail stupidity. River Trolls pass, declare a charge in the Temple Guard, need a 6, they fail. Wolves block the Stegodons, that's about it. His turn 3, his Skinks move up to block me, just in case now if I pass in their stupidity test, and now he's just blasting me with shooting and magic. My turn 4, more failed stupidity. His turn 4, he actually takes the noble route and decides to make a game of it, so Skinks out of the way, and units get into position so he can actually make big charges. My turn 5, my trolls actually pass stupidity, river trolls fail, and they charge into the temple guard, but between him having all of his buffs up and me just kind of clipping, I lose and I get run down. So his set of 5, he's now going to clean up, so the Saurus go into the river trolls, and everything else goes into the black orcs. And in the end, the river trolls can't beat toughness 8 Saurus, and they're run down. Black orcs are smashed, and they're run down as he smashes into the savages. And also, I have some panicking night goblins right now. And then my turn 6, night goblins run off the board, and savages get smashed and run down. And there you go, it's a tabling. So a victory to Lizardmen, and my opponent was pretty happy because this is the first time he ever tabled me. But yeah, I mean, what can a guy do? Usually, if you're up against dwellers and you see Lizardmen, you know they're usually pretty defensive with their temple guards, so you can maybe try and stay out of 2 feet. But you know, in this case, it was just impossible because I need to stay in range to keep the stupidity going with my trolls, and that's just the way the dice went, you know. If I could have stopped that one dwellers, would have been a completely different game. My troll horde would have gone into his temple guard with no buffs, and he would have been unsupported in combat for at least 3 rounds. So, you know, the way things went, even with the flaming banner, let's assuming that he killed them, then I have the black orcs to follow up, I got this assist. Totally different game if I don't lose those 2 characters. But you know, that's the thing with these spells, and this is why some people, like my brother, when I told him about, like, oh, that's why I hate fantasy. It's, you know, some of these spells do really change the game, but you know, at the same time, it's like animosity. You might have one game where animosity totally screws you over, but really, that's like 1 in 100 games, right? The other times, it's not that big of a deal. So, there you go. And some other things to talk about here. This kind of really showed me where I was already kind of thinking of, and I already was, taking the trolls back out. I was just using an old list here because it'd be fast, but I was also thinking of moving on to having double hordes of black orcs, just because they're completely reliable, don't need to be near my general whatsoever, so that's something I might be looking at. And also, just to give you guys a little tip-off for people that watch the whole video, that the next battle report that's going to be coming up in just a couple of days here, because the game is tomorrow, is a 14,500 point game of my orcs and goblins up against 10,000 points of vampire counts and 4,500 of Bretonnians. So pretty much I'm going to be using every model in my collection except for a couple hero models, and this is just going to be a massive game. So hold on tight, and as short and sweet, well, as short and sour this one was, the next one's going to be a massive epic game. So there you go. Those that watch this, you got the little tip off. And if nothing else, if you did enjoy watching this battle report, at least you took away the whole thing where, you know, when Dwellers happens to you and it makes you curse and swear, just know that these things don't usually happen. So there you have it. Bye.